important part, and we're talking about that a little today. Having some determination, applying some heat to your practice so that you can grow. And sitting still is a good place to start with finding determination. Just invite your body to be still. Make sure everything's comfortable enough. Observe your body where you might feel any tension. It can be mental, it can be emotional, it can be physical. But we meet ourselves right now. And a little gratitude towards just having this opportunity and for showing up for it. To relax and release tension with our practice. So come to tall spine with the navel drawing in towards the spine. So close your eyes and just feel for that sense of anchoring in the low belly below the breath. Each exhale naturally reinforces that grounded center. And relax your shoulders down on top of your ribs. Let them rest. Let your hands spread and rest on your legs. Take a couple of deep breaths just to see if your nose is cleared out. Make a little sound with it another time. And breathing with some slow giant inhalations. So go slowly and inhale, inhale, inhale. So a little bit at a time helps you have a little more duration. And when you're ready to turn it around and ground yourself, let that exhale also be slow. Just trying that about 4 more times, feeling free to pause and breathe naturally if you need to. Stretch your inhalation. Grow, 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 grow a little bit more. It's okay. Stay calm. When it's time to breathe out, your body says, breathe out and let it go. Again, 3 more times, letting the inhale match that idea of finding space and growing. Keep growing. And then always balancing that with a sense of groundedness that the exhale brings. Through the nose with sound, twice more. And once more, be patient with yourself. This develops over time. Just do your best for today without any judgment, just curiosity. Little more inhale and slowly breathe out. When that's complete, just be with the sensations of it as you come to a forward fold. Maybe your hips reach back towards the earth as your hands spread and you come forward to any degree. This is your body. Let your hands spread upon the earth. Let your low belly draw back. And you can add a drop of your head, chin towards the chest, shoulders draw down the back. Relax into the sound of your breathing. And a moment for intention here as you fold in towards your heart. Remember that meeting yourself in the now. Inhale, hands to heart as you come up to sitting. Ah. Feel the energy rising already. Practicing seated cat-cow position today. So make sure your folded legs are comfortable. And so we have free your arms, just let them follow along as you bring your heart forward and squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other. And then round your spine, tuck your tail a little bit, shoulder blades spread wide. Let your arms participate. 4 more times. Squeeze, extend. Exhale, round, tuck. Grow on those inhalations and extensions. And then ground into the exhalation. Moving the scapula on the back once more each way. And exhale, round. Sit up partway and take your fingers forward, hands back position. So the elbows are like springy here, so you can lean back into them to your own comfort. Spread your hands and lift up your legs, feet off the floor. If you need to keep your knees bent, do, but coming to a low boat pose. Heart lifting, feet rest together, legs straight if possible, with energy and reach. Just 5 breaths, but don't strain your low back, so bend knees as needed. 3, 4, the breath matches the effort, so it's a little faster. And exhale, fold yourself back in, release. Tall spine, breathe in. Exhale, bow and arrow twist over to the right side. So we twist from the foundation of our seat, squeeze your fists, pull the hands away from each other and look back, a little bit fierce. Just aiming your awareness and activating your body. Creating tension in the upper body. Squeeze your chest and your back and your arms. One more time. Breathe in. When you breathe out, let go of your hands and everything else and come back to center. Navel towards the spine. Supports this work as you come out to the other side. So think of pulling that bow tight, a nice deep looking back with your face and your eyes. We concentrate on just what we're doing right now. Hold these actions and apply just the right amount of tension. 4th breath. Last time, breathe deeply in. This is the top of it. And then let go of your hands and come back to center, hands together. Jumping back, bring in your feet, hands forward, lean forward to your knees, and then pop back your legs one at a time. Coming up to plank pose, reset your hands as needed, and moving between plank and downward dog. So let your feet move around a little bit so you can find a place where you can try to do both. Hips flat, and then hips up, head down. And just try to find your own flow from one shape to the next. The hands press, and just observe how this pose comes from the uplift in the low belly. That's where we're moving from. Try that twice more each way. Uplift in the low belly. And back to downward dog. Bend your knees, look between your hands. And for this first one, just straighten your legs and step lightly forward. Fold forward once you get to the top third of your mat. Let your knees bend as they need. Breathe in to stand up. So there's that foot press, extended spine. Reach your arms, release gripping in your feet. Exhale slowly, bring your arms back into the sides of your body. Let them gather in. Shoulders drawing slightly back and down. Gaze off your nose, just arrive on your feet. Very mindful. Feel the concentration on the breath and the body. And applying a little determination and growth to our sun salutations. Slow breathing in, reaching up to the sky with your eyes and your hands and your rib cage. And then balance it with a slow forward fold. One little step at a time to get there. Tuck your head towards your legs. Halfway lift, extend your spine lightly. Bend your knees so your hips are low and spread your hands. Lean forward a bit and just try to spring your legs back one at a time without lifting your hips up. Arrive in your plank just as needed. And then down with the knees for up dog first one. Shoulders roll back, lift rib cage. Press with the tops of your feet or your knees to come to your upward dog. Determined. This is totally a growing pose. Tuck your tail a little bit and then inhale, try to lengthen out of your shoulders. And exhale, flip your feet and come to downward dog. Letting it be calming. Finding that upwardness in the low belly. Four. Letting yourself connect with your breath and body. 5. Exhale, bending the knees. Pull your hips back towards your heels and look between your hands. So try to spring the legs straight. You could try a little hop or just a light step. And then inhale, straighten up into half lift. Exhale slowly to forward fold. Release all the way down. Inhale to standing. Hands come together at your heart. Reach and grow. And then use your exhale to ground and find your easy, even standing pose. Intentionally stirring up energy. Again, just like that. Reaching up, grow, ribs lift. Exhale into the forward fold shape. Hands somewhere close to your feet. An extension for the third position, not too much, just a little face forward and down. Bend your knees, spread your hands. Take your other leg back first. Try to keep your hips low and just shoot one leg at a time back to plank. Upward facing dog, have a moment to find that shape. Knees down, spine. Lift your whole rib cage. The legs drive this pose. And then flip over your feet, lift up your hips, downward dog. Letting your heart reach towards the earth. See if you can create a little more length between your hands and your hips. Reach your tailbone up towards the sky. Rise up to the balls of the feet and lower down. Twice more. Feel your belly lift, rise up, lower. Inhale, lift up onto the feet. Exhale, heels reach, and take one last breath. Exhale, lengthen your spine, pull yourself back, bend your knees. Inhale, step or hop forward and stretch to the half lift. Exhale, folding forward. And breathe in to stand up. Exhale, pausing in same standing pose. Feel the energy everywhere. Close your eyes if possible or soften your gaze and feel the earth beneath your feet. And just have a sense of reaching the top of your head towards the sun. Matching the energy of the season. And then release your legs to hip distance apart. And coming to flowing palm side bend. Ground your right arm still into your body. Bend your left elbow and come over into standing side bend. And see if you might grow by going a little lower down your leg. Navel towards the spine. Just the right amount. And straight over to the side, not forward or back. Fourth breath out. One more time. Exploring in your own body. A slow and careful coming up to change sides. Right over to the side. Slide your hand down your leg. Take your hip out to the right and add that bent elbow, top arm. Feel your breath reaching into the side body and the low back. Fourth breath, last one. And inhale energy up and out. Elephant pose with your feet hip distance. Sink down into your chair. Elbows and hands together, thumbs at your third eye. Nice open feet and low hips. Big footprints. Listen for your breaths. Already on the fourth breath. Just one more time. And then inhale energy to release up. Hands to your front pelvis, come to forward fold position so that fingers help remind us to keep the belly flying upward. And you may take your favorite one today if you want to do elbow holding or fingers under the toes. See if you can gradually straighten your legs a little bit more and lengthen your spine a little bit more. How can you grow in this shape, this dynamic forward fold? Let's take one more very slow, deep breath. The inhale, creating a little length, lifting out. The exhale, folding back in all the way till you can't fold anymore. And then release your hands back to your center and use your legs to stand up. Try to use your legs to stand up in everyday life off your mat. Let's come to wide standing forward fold. You can hang your heels off the back side of your mat if you like that variation. Just find that symmetry. And next time you breathe out, slide your hands down your legs, out towards your ankles, catch your ankles, and bend your elbows to reach your head towards the floor. So wide feet, standing forward fold. Exhale. Spend a little time with both arms over at your right leg. Just wrap yourself around to the right side. Lateral body, a little twist. Use your breath to release tension. So we become aware of our tension and try to send our energy there to help it. Over to the other side. If you need to pause, give your knees a bend. Wrap yourself the other way. Let your head hang down. No extra tension. Hands and face just along for the ride. Breathe out one more time. Bring your hands to center under your shoulders and bring the top of your head towards the floor, bending your elbows. So exploring a little bit, possibly lifting your heels a little bit or just thinking about it, this little shift. And if your head touches the floor, you can play with that a little bit, that like you're gonna lift your legs off the ground. Just trying to find that lightness from the low belly. One more time if you're exploring that lift. And then ground your whole feet. Take one more breath. Inhale into half lift shape. Exhale, coming to triangle pose to the right side from below today. So you might have a wide stance, that's okay. Come on up, stack your shoulders, reach up and down. Lengthen your spine and your arms. One more breath. And then coming back down and through the wide stance to the other side. So growing into triangle pose from the floor. Taking your time. My feet are much wider than usual here, but I'm gonna just work with that, see what it's like. Challenge the balance a little bit. See if you can relax into your friend triangle pose. Steady presence in your life. One more breath. Inhale, navel towards the spine. Remember as you come up and come to warrior B, bending your knee over your ankle. Change if you need to, if you need more space between your feet. Otherwise, just rest your shoulders. Turn your face to your front fingers. Gathering the fingers together so we lightly activate the upper body. Breathe out. Inhale energy, straight legs. Changing sides, warrior B to the second side. Have a moment to find the shape then. Inhale for one. So we grow within those 5 breaths. We find where we are. We relax into it. We apply determination to stay steady. And just take one more breath. And then release to the top section of your mat, taking your time to step out. And then taking the right leg back, bent pelvis forward. Working on our inward rotation on the shoulders. So roll your thumbs down, reach back as far as you can. Next time you breathe out, come together at your back center. So start low on your spine. Press your knuckles together, or work to your fingertips, or to your palms, and then come up the body without straining. Breathe in, lengthen your spine. Breathe out, reach that length forward and down. Slowly let your eyes come to your big toenail. And continue towards your shin if that feels okay. Bowing in. Little micro adjustments in those bones and joints of the feet. And last exhale, see if you can lengthen your spine. Inhale energy to come up and turn to the back of your mat. So keep your upper body. You can reduce it by bringing down your back a little as you change sides. Back up the spine if it works. Breathe in. Slow forward fold, exhale. Stop where you need to stop with this pose. I think it looks deceptively simple. And one more time. Strong. Inhale energy up. Release your feet to the same direction. Release your arms and hands and give them a little infinity time. Creating openness and releasing. And then settle them into your heart. time we pause, it's a little meditation. And our practice is movement meditation. Back again with the right leg for warrior A, with the knee bending in the front, square towards the front. And today let's work with that top arm and external rotation. So take up your left arm and roll your thumb up and back, external from the shoulder. Lengthen it as long as it will be. Then bend your elbow and come to the back of your skull, maybe down to the back of your neck or your upper back. Keep your legs steady, and you can reach up with another long arm to give it a little assist towards the midline. Not forcing your neck at all. And it's helpful to ground your front ribs together and down on your exhales into your belly center. 3, try to make the best of everything that's happening here. Exhale for 4, and one more time. See if you can grow a little lower, a little more open in your arm. And release all of that and come out, return to the top. Second side, big step back to that angled foot, bend out your front knee, low. So make sure your foundation feels set before we add this upper body work. And so with the pelvis down, we can have the ribs, the front ribs grounding and the low belly grounding. And it helps when your arms are up. So let's work with that. Right arm, thumb rolls back, up and back. Reach your arm long. Bend your elbow, come to your back of your skull or anywhere down that center line. Other arm nice and long to come and catch the elbow and support it towards the midline. Remember to lift your back rib cage too, not just the front. Three, slowly twice more. Determination. And breathe out. Come on up and out. And step to a wall space if you need a little support for tree pose. To work with our growing metaphor. So first we have our roots, we have our standing leg and foot, shifting weight. So just have support for safety if you need it. The other hip opens out to the side, and we just don't want to press the knee. So it can really be toes on the floor, around the knees, okay. Or pop it up into that little area at the top of your thigh. And the legs work together. There's a harmony that has to happen here. So just be present with that togetherness, centering hands and eyes. Concentration turns all the way on. And simply try again if you need to pop out. It's okay. Let's think about growing, finding our maximum height in the pose. Keep your eyes a little downward to help create stability, but reach your rib cage, reach the sides of your arms. Grow twice more. Once more, inhale a little bit higher. And exhale, try to come slowly out. Land into both feet and circle your hips. Go the other way. Feel that ground down to the bones of your feet, through the legs. Vrksasana, second side, turning around if you need that wall support on the other side. Standing leg, foot, and foundation. Other foot finds its branch, all good branches. Have a moment with the idea of the harmony of the legs, this give and take. in balance. And then some branching if possible. It can just be one arm, that's fine. And grow as tall as you can. Don't forget your back rib cage. There's room there. Second breath. Third breath. Really work with this last inhale as it comes. Get as tall as you possibly can be. And then come on down with your concentration. Pause, wide feet, circle hips. And be still in your center. Have a few mindful steps back to the top section of your mat. A little offering for the standing practice. All you were able to do, all the benefits generated. Interlace your hands. Inhale, press to the sky. Rise up to the balls of your feet. And exhale, release your hands and feet and come to forward fold. Go slowly after the other poses we've been in. Just find your way into that shape. Spread your hands and take just your right leg back and come down to your knee. Take a moment to add in your blanket support if you want it for the kneeling position. Starting with Anjaneyasana's pose, coming forward with the knee towards the toes. And take your hands to your sacrum. Gently bringing the pelvis forward, lift the whole ribs. Gaze to your nose. Feel your foundation, both legs, both feet. One more time, breathe out. And taking that leg straight, come to your heel and draw back your toes. And take your hands and they can slide down your leg or come to the floor. Ground your back foot. Draw back on your toes, fold in. You can just keep one hand for stability on the floor if you like. There's a little lateral to that reach of the foot. And just take one more slow breath. Bend your knee, take back your leg, and bring the other one forward for the same second side. Rise up, bring out your knee. Hands to the sacrum, encouraging a little tail tucking energy there. Draw your elbows towards each other, stretch your chest. Just the right amount with your feet and legs. Exhale for 3. And one more breath. Press strongly to your front foot to come out. Come to your heel, draw back your toes. And maybe slide the hands down the leg. I found that having one hand on the floor was a lot more stable. So whichever feels best for you with the hands here. Just come into your forwardness. A little lateral as well as you reach that arm. And breathe deeply one more time through the exhalation. And release, take your leg back. From your knees, spread your hands and lengthen your spine. 5 times, just dipping towards the floor. Hug your elbows in, lower, and press straight. Second one, straight. So a little dip is fine. Go a little lower for this last one if you can, and then a determined press up and come into upward facing dog one more time. And then knees down. Come to child's pose with your feet together and your knees together. Pull your hips back and rest your arms. Bring your head down. Actually, let the arms drape. Let the shoulders hang. Let the head hang. Breathe deeply. Feel the breath move in the spaces in the back ribs. And exhale, see if you can get the top of your head to relax towards the floor. So we can come right up into rabbit pose here. It's super light on your head. You catch your heels with your hands and then lift up and take your head to the floor, the top of your head, very lightly. So most of our weight, almost all of it, is coming through the knees. Very light, rabbit pose. Gently stimulating the crown chakra. Long neck, so press your head into the floor a little bit. And when you breathe out, just come on back down to child's pose. Empty it out. And then breathing in and coming to a wide on your mat with the blanket underneath your knees. Wide child's pose. So this cushioning is just to make it nice. And so we'll just explore in our own bodies what wide knees is going to feel like today. So walk them out as far as they feel like they will go. And then sink your hips back towards your heels. Keep your feet towards each other, sink back. Make sure nothing's too intense there with your knees. You can always come up and carefully walk in a little bit. And we're going to go yin in child's pose with wide knees, supporting your head, letting it be on the floor. You can turn to the side. Going soft for a minute's time. Oh, it's okay for the work to be a little deep, but not painful. Come back to your breathing with your mind. Softening your face and your hands. Be present with any sensation, especially anything that might be a little deep here, like the tops of my feet are a little bony against the floor, but it's okay, it's not too bad. It's impermanent. So it's okay to have some discomfort, but not pain. And let your eyes relax, give them a break from all they do. Huge amount of brain energy into vision. Letting the brain energy settle. Let it rest on the breath. Just a few more moments. And complete one more breath. And mindful coming out. So resist coming out too quickly. You want to carefully walk and not drag the knees back. Walk the knees closer again. And then have some freedom to release from that pose. Have a spontaneous release, whatever yoga pose or whatever you want to do for a moment. So for me, the compression feels good to go to a down dog and maybe into a 3-leg dog if you enjoy that. Shake it out, get some space for your hips, bend your knee. So whatever you want to do here is fine. But just let it do something that Balance is what we just did in some way for your body. And let it be still wherever you are moving and holding. And then come back down or meet me for a pigeon pose variation towards the front of the mat now. So you can keep your blanket, you can use it underneath you if you want. Take a folded right knee, slide it up. Take a straight left leg back. And just try to relax into the shape. So there's the forward way, and there's the follow the chest way. Working to compress a different way and around the hips and stretch the external and the front of the back leg. Relax what you can. Fifth breath, going to 8. Using bandhas for support, so not yin. 7. And 8. And simply sit over onto your right hip and come up. Bring your left leg up so you are connecting to that right foot. And sitting tall, twisting back. Use your hands, both hands for support. Three, breathe into tension. Yeah, last time, see if you can grow a little bit, twist a little more, lift out of your legs. And exhale, return to center, changing sides. Have a moment for that, folding the left knee in front, taking the right leg straight back, and deciding if that forwardness feels good or if you prefer the following the chest more to the side. Aware of your back leg all the way to the foot. Try not to let it curl in, let it point straight. Let your head relax. Breathe 8 times. Is your mind quietest with your eyes closed or open and soft? Seventh breath. And slowly, 8th breath completing. Rise up, straighten your arms, sit over on your hip, and then bring your other leg, the back leg up to meet the front foot. Sit tall, breathe in, breathe out, look back, twist. Third breath. See if you can grow, 2 more breaths. Lengthen, find space, breathing in. Exhale, gently deepen the twist. One more time. Length, lift, and then exhale, twist. And release. Facing towards the top of your mat. Keep your legs similar for Janushirasana, so we have that right leg stretching out and the left foot to the inner right thigh. Just face your straight leg, activate it, and breathe out, forward fold. Use your hands to catch your leg or your ankle or your foot. So your sides get a nice lengthening through the arms. Let your head hang down. Thinking of forward folding as a dynamic exercise. And the inhales have a little energy and length. The exhales are a settling down into the depth. Do that twice more, perhaps exaggerating that lift out and lower in. One more time, see if you can grow. Your body will let you find just a little bit more space. Release your arms and sit up tall. Lean back, balance on your sacrum. Cross your ankles the other way. And then come out to the second side. John, use your sasana head to knee pose. Breathe in with a tall spine. And breathe out, go down your leg. So really listen to your back body, the backs of your legs, your whole body as far as when you stop. Hold on to something. Face downward. As you inhale, lift up slightly. And exhale, fold in. Continue for 3 or 4 more rounds of breath. Feel yourself relax into the form. Grow, breathe in. Settle, breathe out. Last time. With an inhale, rise on up and cross your ankles, balance on your sacrum. Float your arms, other way, cross your ankles, balance. Good, and bring on your feet. Heading towards our backs now, so you can put on clothing. Bring with you a blanket for covering or support. And I'm going to do a shoulder stand. That's the beginner level shoulder stand. So it's okay. We can use blankets, but we don't have a lot of time to talk about it today. So maybe I'll do a tutorial on using the blankets. But you can have a blanket underneath you entirely for cushioning if you'd like, if it's on your mat. And then pick up your feet and lift your legs into the air. Bring your feet towards your face, your hips lift a little bit. And use your arms to help lift up. Then take your hands to the back of your body and try to straighten your legs a little bit towards the sky. If you want to keep straightening and keep lifting, you can, but just know that Ardha Salama Sarvangasana, half shoulder stand, is its own pose, and it's just fine. If it's a strain, just keep your hips on the ground with your legs up. Four, let's go stay for 8. 5. For the last few breaths, let's see about growing, reaching through the legs, activating, maybe lifting them a little higher. Last time, breathe in, see about growing energy. And then breathe out carefully. Lower your legs and your hips back down. Coming to Apanasana, the 2 knees into the chest pose. Just relax. Deeply grounding. Holding it as it's comfortable for you, but remember to not hold back from depth that might be beneficial. Some sensation going on. breathe out, bring your feet to the floor. And then bridge pose to finish here. Centered on the back of the skull, lifting up. And today, let's see if we can get one shoulder at a time to come down and underneath us. One at a time. So you get your neck lots of room. Your trapezius is kind of pinned underneath you. And then as you press into your feet and lift your hips, you can stretch your upper back down your body. And here, let's just have a sense of growing, like the Mula Bandha is helping us grow from our deep, subtle core towards the sky. Tiny amounts of growth happening as you hold. Fourth breath. Last one. And come down slowly. That helps build the strength as you come out. And bring the legs back in with happy baby pose this time. So it's wider knees. Drawing the knees down on either side of your torso. You can hold your feet or the backs of your legs. Bring your arms on the inside of your feet if you haven't, and wrap them around to the ankles. Thinking about turtle pose here. Feel your shell rolling on the floor. And exhale. Bring down your legs and your feet together, knees apart to begin resting. So you might need to adjust your spine so that your low back is grounded and you can allow the knees to rest open. A little softening message from the hands somewhere on your pelvis or your inner legs, just to give that message of support, letting go. Just the heels gently pressed together. See if you can grow a more soft for one more breath. Exhale, soften and let it go. And then slowly stretch out each leg. Making sure your head is centered. The long neck. Are your shoulders off the floor? Mine always are. So that reminder to bring them down, and you can press your elbows and help ground your upper back and shoulders down. And then let that groundedness travel out to the centers of your palms. Where if we laid outside long enough that some water might pool in our hands and something might begin to grow out of them. Let yourself rest. Making sure you're very comfortable. Give the invitation for stillness again. So your brain says, okay, I'll stay a little while. I'll practice stillness. And your body thinks it's a good idea. Eyes relax in their sockets. As the energy of the practice gradually settles, growing more and more soft. The breath gently flows. You can let your belly breathe again. Let's take plenty of time today to transition from this place, so no need to change anything yet. Just the suggestion that we'll slowly grow to a new position. Perhaps your breath does that first bit of growth. You can rock your head gently side to side on the back of the skull, a little massage, grounding your brain. Pause in the center, weaving the fingers together and pressing up towards the sky. Breathe in. Start to reach through your legs and toes. Take your arms overhead now and release the weave, so you just reach everything really long with a little arch of your back. And next time your out breath comes, bring your knees and elbows closer to each other and roll to your most comfortable side, or you could rock up. Pause if you like. Make your way back to your Sukhasana, perhaps tucking it in a little bit deeper, just feeling a little more free. Rest your hand on your legs and just circle back an hour's time. Feel your energy, your prana. Know that you can bring this peacefulness with you anywhere you take a mindful breath. And let's stack our fists, just loose fists stacked at the center, and that gesture of storing some reserves of calm energy. Just feel empowered by your peacefulness, your stillness, as well as your growth and openness today. Inhale, spread open your hands, gather some gratitude for anything or everything, and bring it to your heart. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. Make sure you have something to drink and something to eat. Now that, unless you eat lunch early, it's lunchtime. And that's fine too. Just make sure you don't eat too much right before class. Good to see you, Susan, Jess, Francesca, and Becca. Glad you joined us too.
Thank you.
Welcome.